Welcome back, students. In this session, we will discuss the relation between electric current and drift velocity and the concept of Ohm's law. Let us start the relation between electric current and drift velocity. Students, as we have learned that electric current is the rate of flow of charge and the drift velocity is the average velocity with which electrons are drifted in metallic conductor under applied electric field. Right? In previous video, we have learnt about the expression for the drift velocity or the relation between drift velocity and realization time. Now let us see what is the relation between electric current and drift velocity. To understand this concept, now let us take a conductor. I will take a conductor. Students, it is a conductor. This conductor may be uniform cross section or non-uniform cross section. See, it is a conductor. Right? In this conductor, so many large number of free electrons are available. Right? When potential difference is applied, this is the potential difference. When potential difference is applied to the conductor, electric field set up at every point in the conductor. Right? How it is? This is the potential difference. When potential difference is applied, electric field set up at every point in the conductor. When electric field is set up, this electric field experience force on the charged particle. I mean, this electric field experience force on the free electrons. As a result, all the free electrons are moving like this. All the free electrons are moving with the velocity. This velocity we are calling drift velocity. Right? In metallic conductor, what is the direction of current? The direction of current is the direction in which positive charges are moving. We are actually, if negative charges are moving in this direction and then positive charges are moving in opposite direction. So, the direction of electric current is the direction in which positive charges are moving. Got at this point? But whenever charges are moving opposite to direction of electric field with velocity v, this velocity we are called drift velocity. What is the expression for drift velocity? Drift velocity v equal to how much? Small e, capital E, tau divided by in magnitude. Where A represents charge of electron, m represents mass of the electron, tau represents direction and E represents electric field due to applied potential difference. Right? Next what is? Now, shall we call this equation number 1. But how to define electric current? Electric current is the rate of flow of charge. Electric current is the rate of flow of charge. Right? This we are calling equation number 2. Consider, students, this conductor has somewhat area cross section A and this conductor has length E. It is the length of the conductor, K represents area cross section. We know that according to charge is quantized. What the charge is quantized? E equal to how much? N into E. N represents number of electrons, E represents charge of the electron. But in this conductor, number of charges are flowing. So that the number of charges flowing through a given volume of the conductor what it is? The number of charges flowing in a given volume of the conductor. In a given volume, how much number of charges are present? In a given volume, we get into T in a given volume. In a given volume, this much number of charges are present. I mean, charge of one electron into given volume. But how to write this volume? Where volume is equal to area into length. How to represent in charge? Charge equal to N into E. Area equal to volume equal to area into length. If Q equal to N into E, area into length, then what about the equation 2? How the equation 2 becomes here? I equal to Q represent equal to N into area into length whole divided by time. But length divided by time, that represents speed, or here we are representing velocity, length by time. See here the number represent NEA. L by T, that represents drift velocity. Then what you got the relation? The relation between electric current and drift velocity is I You can modify this equation by using equation 4. Shall I call? This is what equation number 4. You can call equation number 3. Right? From equation how to represent? Current equal to NEA. What is VD? VD equal to small e capital E tau divided by annual. Right thing. Again you can modify. You can modify like this. How to represent? NE square A capital E tau divided by how much? In a conductor, how much current is flowing? This much of amount of current is flowing. But students, your point to be noted that this drift velocity is very small. As in the previous video, we said that the drift velocity is of the order 10 raised to minus 4 meter per second or 10 raised to minus 5 meter per second, depends on temperature. If drift velocity is very smaller, then current should be very small. Current must be very smaller, because here drift velocity is very smaller, then current is not smaller, because your number of electrons in 1 coulomb, 6.25 into 10 raised to 18 electrons are there. Due to large number of electrons in a conductor, large amount of current is possible, even though drift velocity is very small. Right? This is what the relation between electric current and drift velocity. After this, we should define one more physical quantity, that we are calling mobility. Mobility. See here, we know that expression for drift velocity of the flowing electron in a conductor. What is the drift velocity? The drift velocity of this moving electron in a conductor, how much it is? Small e capital E tau divided by m. Right thing. Mobility is the physical quantity that measures how quickly an free electron moving in the conductor. What this physical quantity measure? Mobility measure how quickly an electron moving in a conductor. Or mobility is the drift velocity per unit electric field. What it is? Mobility is represented by mu. Mobility is the drift velocity of moving free electron per unit electric field. This quantity we are calling mobility. See here, how much it is then? Mu equal to Vd small e capital E tau divided by m into how much? Capital E. Here capital E can cancel. See here, then this mobility how much it is? It is E tau divided by m. This is what expression for mobility of an electron which is moving in a metallic conductor. Look at this expression, mobility is small e tau by m. Small e is the charge of electron constant, capital M is the mass of the electron is also constant. Then what is the variable here? This mobility of the free electron in a metallic conductor directly proportional to realization time. Students, already we know that. When temperature increase, the realization time is decreased. Temperature increase, realization time is decreased, because as the temperature increase, the electrons get collide with the positive ions as much as fast. That's what the time decrease. Time decrease with increase in temperature. Directly, as the temperature of the conductor increase, the mobility of the free electron must be decreased. You can say this mobility of this conductor, it only depends on the temperature of the conductor, not depends on how much amount of electric field applied, how much amount of potential difference applied. It only depends on temperature. I mean, temperature decides how quickly an electron moving in a conductor. That physical component is nothing but mobility. Right? Then you can represent SI for this by taking this equation. See here, by writing equation you can write like this also, or from this equation you can write. See here, mobility. Actually, mobility means drift velocity per unit electric field. What is the assignment here? Mobility. Look at velocity is how much? Meter per second. Electric field, Newton per coulomb. Newton per coulomb. Then Newton per Newton coulomb. What is the assignment? The assignment of the mobility is the meter per second per Newton coulomb. Then from this you can write the dimensional formula here. Using this you can write the dimensional formula. How the dimensional formula for this mu equal to m? M in mass here, right? M is equal to mass per second in what value, right? Coulomb in how much? 80, right around. Shall I write? So for my convenience, look at here. How to write? Mobility, mass, meter mean length per second, t raised to minus, right? Coulomb 80. Coulomb is 80 into Newton. M L t raised to minus 2. Then how to write? Per m per n t raised to 2 value. Right on. So this one get cancelled. Right on. And this one get cancelled. How to write the mobility? Dimensional formula for mobility. This LL get cancelled. LL get cancelled. And whatever 1 t is only remaining. Then how much it is? See here. T square actually. T into t cube. This is t square. Right? T square into a. M raised to minus into this much. What it is? The dimensional formula for the mobility. After this, students, we should know the one more law. The law indicates the relation between the applied potential difference, electric field, and the drift velocity, along with the amount of current flowing in an conductor. Directly, the law which indicates the relation between applied potential difference and amount of current flowing in a conductor. That law we are calling Ohm's law. Let us discuss what about the Ohm's law and how to obtain the Ohm's law. Before going the statement, students, we need to draw some equation regarding Ohm's law. Let us see the Ohm's law. Ohm's law. Right. Before the statement of Ohm's law, we need to know some relation between electric field and drift velocity along with applied potential difference. To take this derivation, again we will take a conductor. See here. Shall we take? It is a conductor. This is the conductor. Right? In this conductor, so many free electrons are available. When potential difference is applied to this conductor, this is the potential difference. As soon as potential difference applied to conductor, electric field setup at every point in the conductor. This is the direction of electric field setup when potential difference is applied. Potential difference is applied. When potential difference applied, electric field setup, due to this electric field, all the electrons are moving with the drift velocity field. Right? When electrons are moving with the drift velocity, current is set up. Current is set up opposite to direction of motion of electron. Students, we know that expression for drift velocity of the conductor, drift velocity of the free electron. What it is? Vd equal to how much? Vd equal to small e capital A tau divided by m. This is equation number 1. Right? Then what is the relation between electric field? What is the relation between electric current and drift velocity? How much it is? I equal to n E A Vd. This is equation number 2. Right down. Look at me. Again Vd, small e capital E tau divided. Put equation 1 into what you will get? Electric current in a conductor n E A Vd, small e capital E tau divided by how much? That is m. Right thing. Again we can modify this. In what way? N is equal I is equal to N into E square A tau into E divided by how much? That is N. Right? But here uniform electric field is set up inside the conductor. We know the relation between electric field and potential. How much it is? Shall we call this? This we are calling equation number 3. We know that the relation between electric field and potential E is equal to how much? E is equal to V by L. What is the applied potential difference? Then what is L indicates? L indicates the length of the conductor. Right? If E is equal to V by L, then what about equation 3? What about this equation 3 then? I is equal to N kept up same, E square also kept up same. A tau E equal to how much? V divided by how much? M into L. M into L. Right? Again this equation can be written like this. How to modify this equation? See here, V equal to I into ML whole divided by how much? N E square A into tau. Right? See here, M is the mass of the electron constant, L is the length of the conductor constant, A area of the conductor constant, tau relaxation time constant, E represent charge of the electron, N represent number of electron. If all these are the constant values, shall I write this equation? This equation we can write V is equal to I into R, where R indicates what? R equal to how much? R equal to M into L divided by N into E square A into tau. Right? This R we are calling the resistance of the conductor. We will study this resistance of conductor in separate part. Now let us see what relation you got. V is equal to I into R you got. When you got, if the length of the conductor constant, area of the conductor constant, and relaxation constant. Relaxation time is constant. Relaxation time is constant when it is possible. It is possible at a constant temperature and a constant stress. Right? From this relation, what you can say? You can say V is what? Potential difference across the end of the conductor. What is I? Amount of current flowing in the conductor. Constant R. We are calling resistance. Then from this all the relation, we can obtain the statement of Ohm's law. Ohm's law can be written here. The potential difference applied across the end of the conductor. Potential difference applied across the end of the conductor. Directly proportional to current flowing. Directly proportional to current flowing, provided the length, area, temperature, stress, and some other physical quantity remains constant. What statement of Ohm's law? Ohm's law says that the potential difference applied across the end of the conductor directly proportional to current flowing in the conductor, provided the length, area, temperature, stress, and some other physical quantity remains constant. How to write this? Potential difference directly proportional to current, or potential difference must be equal to some constant into current. This we are calling Ohm's law. I mean, in metallic conductors, applied potential difference directly proportional to current. When it is constant, when it is directly proportional, if length is constant, area is constant, temperature of the conductor constant, and the stress and strains are the constant, then only the potential difference directly proportional to current. This is the statement of Ohm's law. Students, from this one, what are obtained? Potential difference directly proportional to current. Potential difference directly proportional to current. From this one, R is what? Resistance. How to write this resistance? Resistance R equal to how much? That is V by I. Resistance equal to V by I. From this graph, what we are taking? V directly proportional to I. V directly proportional to I. How the graphical you can show? See here, along x-axis we will take applied potential difference. Then along y-axis, what we will take? We will take the current. From this one, what are taking? Potential difference directly proportional to current. And how the graph is possible? Like this graph is possible. Correct? The graph is linear. When the graph is linear, provided length of the conductor, area, temperature, stress, and strain, along with some other physical quantity remains constant. Right? Then on this graph, shall I take Before taking the slope, remember R equal to V by I, right? On this graph, I want to take any 2 points, and on those 2 points, I want to take the slope. So here, this point represent A, this right B, then shall I take the slope? Like this, right? See here, along y-axis, what quantity is there? Current is there. This is C point. Along x-axis, voltage is there. Shall I take the slope? Slope in tan theta. Slope in tan theta here, right? Tan theta mean what? BC by AC. What is BC? That is current. What is AC? That represent voltage, right? Then remember, 1 by slope I want to write. 1 by slope is equal to how much? That is V by I. But what is V by I? That is the resistance of conductor. 1 by slope represent the resistance of conductor. I mean, on VI characteristics of the graph, if I take the reciprocal of the slope, that will represent the resistance of the conductor. We will study the resistance of conductor separately. Students, from this what you got? The applied potential difference across the end of the conductor directly proportional to current flowing in the conductor. Right? But the devices which obey this graph, I mean the potential difference directly proportional to current in those materials. The materials which obey the Ohm's law, or the materials which obey the potential difference directly proportional to current, those devices we are calling ohmic devices. Ohmic devices mean the devices which obey strictly Ohm's law. Ohmic devices. Ohmic devices. What it is? The devices which obey strictly Ohm's law, those devices we are calling ohmic devices. Example for ohmic devices are generally the metallic conductors. All metals obey the ohmic devices. Non-ohmic devices mean the devices which does not obey Ohm's law. I mean, in those materials, the applied potential difference not directly proportional to current. Those devices we are calling non-ohmic devices. Non-ohmic devices. Non-ohmic devices. Students, we say that the potential difference is directly proportional to current. When it is, it should be under some physical quantities in a conductor must be constant. What are the physical quantities? You can take the length, area, temperature, stress and strain must be constant. Then only potential difference directly proportional to current. Right? But again, all these we have to see some of the limitations of Ohm's law. Some of the limitations of Ohm's law. See here. Now let us see what are the limitations of Ohm's law. Let us see one by one. Limitations of Ohm's law. Limitations of Ohm's law. See, let us see. Who can say potential difference directly proportional to current? When it is, some physical terms remains constant, like length, area, temperature, and other physical quantities. The first limitation is to obey the Ohm's law, some physical quantities must be constant. This is the one of the limitation. I mean, to obey Ohm's law. To obey Ohm's law. Obey Ohm's law. Some physical quantities must constant. Some physical quantities must constant. Must be constant. This is one of the limitation. Second limitation is this Ohm's law does not valid at a very low temperature and does not valid at high temperature. V directly proportional to I is valid only for intermediate temperature. I mean only valid for a room temperature. I either applied at room temperature or above or little below the room temperature. I mean, this V directly proportional to I, not valid. Ohm's law does not valid. Ohm's law does not valid. Doesn't valid at very low and very high temperature. And very high temperature. Very high temperature. This is one of the limitation. At a very low temperature, with a very high temperature, this Ohm's law does not valid for even also for metallic conductors. See here. This Ohm's law only valid for ohmic devices, does not valid for non-ohmic devices. I mean, non-ohmic devices means semiconductors, insulators, like papers you can take, mica you can take, and you can say transistors. I mean, these Ohm's law does not valid for non-ohmic devices, not valid, not obeyed. Not obeyed for semiconductors, diodes, and etc. Like semiconductor, transistor, etc. Transistors, vacuum diode tubes, all of them are not valid, etc. Not okay for semiconductor, transformer, etc. I mean, for non-ohmic devices it is not valid. See here, from this graph, what are taking V directly proportional to I. V directly proportional to I. How it is? So what are taking here? Voltage we are taking. This is current we are taking. This is what nature of the graph. Writing. Students, this nature of the graph will changes at the passage of time. As the passage of time. This V directly proportional to I, it is only valid for a certain time in a metallic conductor. The potential difference is applied to conductor. Initially, like this graph will show, but as the time passes, the nature of graph will be deviates slightly due to increasing temperature. I mean, the nature of material, it will change this graph as a function of time. As a function of time, the V and characteristics of the metallic conductor will change because of increasing temperature. Due to increasing temperature, resistance of the conductor changes. Due to this graph, it changes slightly. I mean, few limitations are there. To obey the Ohm's law, some physical quantity must be constant, and this law not valid at low temperature and very high temperature. And this law does not valid for non-ohmic devices, and the nature of graph changes as a function of temperature. These are the few limitations. But here, our main point is V equal to I into R. R we are calling resistance. What is the resistance? On what factor resistance depends? How the resistance changes as a function of temperature? That will see in the next.